Alright gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It's October day 1 and clearly I have been busy, very busy at that. The track has been extended, we've got to get rid of some stumps here. Obviously I've got some trees down here as well, so clearly we purchased that piece of land right over here, which we said we were going to do off camera at the end of the episode. Not only that, I've also spent a lot of money. As you can see, we only have $48,000. That's not typical to what we would be getting normally when we jump from a month to the next month, and that's because we spent some money. A lot of you in the comments mentioned that you also agreed with me that didn't really love the most recent sheep pen that we put down. So we changed it. So we added a brand new sheep pen in, and it's right here. I really like this one. I moved it over here actually on this corner. I'm not sure why I decided to do it. I just think it looked better over here and gave a little bit more space over there for some more things we're going to do in the future. But it's a lot bigger space than what they currently had, or what they had before, I guess I should say. But the big problem right now is they don't have any food in there. Obviously, the meadow's has not grown to a period where they can eat that, so we got to get some grass over here for them. We'll probably just mow some of the small stuff up. And what I mean by the small stuff is I'm talking about some of the weeded stuff that's just kind of laying around. We'll probably mow some of that so we can give them some actual food. But they're jumping around, having a good old time in their new area. It is a very, very big pen. It's not a perfect square or anything like that. I had to kind of go around some trees, but I didn't really want to get rid of any more trees on this side. I wanted to give them plenty of shade, also sun if they want it. But I also wanted to keep some trees over here as well. We may even add a few more in here too, to kind of pull that effect that I talk about, the tree tunnel effect that I like to talk about. So we'll see. But anyway, that is their new big pen, and it's pretty massive, as you can see. So we're going to have to work on them a little bit today. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and get these trees put over here to the sawmill. I've already got the stump grinder on the Vulture there, so we can work on getting rid of those stumps here shortly after that. Other things we're going to accomplish today is we got to drill the field that we kind of cultivated and put slurry down in on the last episode. And like I said, we might potentially start working on making another field over there in our new plot of land that we purchased. But it really just depends on how much time we have. If we don't end up having enough time, we can always save that for, for the next episode, right? But we will see. Our sugarcane is doing well. I think it's going to be ready to harvest. Well, I don't want to create a job. I think it's going to be ready to harvest it might be the next episode. If it's not the next episode, it'll be the following one. It does have a little hail damage, as well as the field, I think. No, I guess it doesn't. I thought I had hail damage over here too, but I guess we don't. But this one got a little bit of hail damage. That's okay. Now, when the time comes to harvest this sugarcane field, it is going to be a little difficult. You all have mentioned that in the comments to me many times already. Don't know what I'm doing. I've never done sugarcane harvest before, so it'd be new to me, but I'm going to attempt everything I can to try to make sure that we're able to accomplish it as best as we can, so I will try to practice a little bit. I'm going to park this here for right now. Let's jump on the Vulture for right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of these stumps before I forget about them. Now, we might also have to get rid of a few more trees around that sheep area, because I think the pallets spawn over there, and I think there might be a tree that's a little bit too close for us. And what I mean by too close is that we might be running into it when we're trying to get the pallets out with the forks. So if that's the case, we might have to get rid of one more tree in that area, but for now, we're just going to leave it be until we actually fully figure out how much room we have to work with. But yeah, gang, we've got a track going all the way down to here. There are still those little spots, sections, I can't really explain it, where it just doesn't render properly. It just disappears, as you can see there. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is what it is. Alright, I think we got all that. I don't think there's any more. I think I got the rest of them. Let's just drive down here and make sure before I state that. I also did a little bit of work over here in our main, well, the yard's over here now, but the main, I don't know what you would call it, the animal area over here with and all the different productions and stuff. I did do a little bit of work over here. I got the pallets of wool just in the middle of nowhere, not really in a good spot. But I did do a little bit of work over here. We talked about it many episodes ago, how I need to expand this area out over here and clean it up. I've done that. I also put the gravel around the outside edge, right, just to try to make it look good. So I've got that all taken care of over to here. We still have a lot more of that to do in this area, but we're kind of waiting until we have things more solidified over here before we spend the money on that. So that's the reason why none of that has occurred yet. I'm going to get rid of this one stump right here that I saw. Well, maybe I am. All right, we got it. So I'm going to drop this right here for now. We will be moving it again, but I'm going to drop it there for now. We've also got pallets there of the prefab walls that we're going to take up to the log cabin. I think we still need one more pallet of furniture. I think there's one that's spawned, but I think we still need another one, so we're going to have to wait on that, unfortunately. There's a little bit of grass in here. It's not a bunch, but it's a tiny, tiny bit, 492 liters to be exact. We're going to dump this right now into the pen here for the sheep. It's not going to hold them over for the whole episode, but it'll hold them over until we're able to start mowing up some of this grass over here in the new field, right? Similar to all the other ones, this one does not require us to put any water into it, so this grass will be sufficient. I'm just going to leave that there for right now. I'm not sure we're going to need that anymore now that we upgraded this and changed it out. So we might end up selling that and just keep the one that we have over there. Let's go pick up these pallets. Let's take them to the log cabin here so we can get that moving. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. I don't know if I asked you that yet or not, but I'm going to ask it to you now. So if I asked it to you already, well, I'm asking it to you again. Tell me twice how you're feeling down below in the comments section. So this should knock out the prefab wall, so we probably can go ahead and turn these on auto selling and maybe even flip everything else on into the sawmill there. I think this little track that I had here, I'm going to extend it, well, I guess split it a little bit and have it go over there on the other side by the green barn there. Because I think it just makes sense. We're going to be going across that way more times than not. Okay, the prefab walls are in there. It looks like we actually need another 1,000 liters of prefab wall, so we're not quite there on that either. We need 3,000 liters of furniture. I know for a fact we do not have that. Even if we have 2 pallets, it's still only going to be 2,000. So we got a ways to go there, unfortunately, before we get to the next step there at the log cabin. But we're getting close to completing that. We are getting very close. Let's go down here and pick up the furniture pallet or pallets, whatever's there. Okay, so I stand corrected. We don't even have one pallet. I thought we had a pallet. I thought it was really close at the end of the last episode. Evidently not. So we're gonna be it's gonna be a long time, I guess, before we finish that log cabin. But that's okay. We've got enough to do around here. We've got other things we want to accomplish around here anyway, right? So that's okay. I'm gonna pick these two up just to kind of get them out of the way. They've been just kind of sitting here, and this thing will absolutely accept them now as long as I can get them to an area where, there we go, where the trigger actually recognizes they are a tree to be accepted. Maybe? Yes, no? There we go. Perfect. Alright, that cleans that up. That makes that look a lot better, right? So I think what we will do now that we have that cleaned up a little bit, and now that we have that sawmill over here, right, we're going to go ahead and we can put down some more greenhouses here. We can just go ahead and complete our little greenhouse area that we said we were going to do. I think it's over here. Here we go. Same greenhouses. I'm not changing anything, but they're going to be set up going this way. I don't know what it's overlapping. What's it overlapping? Is there a tree stump or something? Must be a tree stump. I'm not too concerned about it. We can just make it... We can set it like that. I'm going to try to line these up as best I can. They're not going to be perfect, but if they're close, I'll be pretty happy. Oh, not enough money. Okay, so we can't. Never mind. I forgot those were $36,000. Well, we got one at least. We put one down. That's good enough for me. We can work on that here in just a second. We're going to put a production right here. That's what I've decided to do there. We're going to put a production there. Not yet, but eventually we're going to put a production there. Maybe in this episode. If not this episode, for sure it'll be in the next episode. Alright, so that's all taken care of. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to get the case and I'm going to get a drill out. And we're going to drill the field over there. As far as what we're going to put in there, let's think about it. We've got to look and see what we actually can put in there, first of all. Barley can go in, and probably wheat. Yeah, barley and wheat. Okay, so I'm going to drop this off right over here. I need to clean all this stuff up a little bit. I can do that off camera. Kind of dropping stuff everywhere. Kind of something that I've mentioned many times I don't really love to do, but we're busy, so we're just gonna drop them there, and I'll clean it up a little bit later on. This should be enough. We shouldn't need to do anything here. Let's do barley. I think I had it on barley already, but let's do barley. Man, this is really... I think I say this almost every episode when we make a big change like this, but it's really coming together, man. I'm really, really happy with the way this is all turning out. The vision is all coming together. Like it a lot. Alright, let's put a worker on this. Nope, see, that's the problem. That's what I was afraid of. If I do this, he's going to drill over that entire grass field. Which, not necessarily, I guess, a bad thing, but it would mean over there we'd have a little bit of issues with trying to get trees out. Now, we haven't really touched that area at all in regard to trees for a long, long time, so maybe it would be okay to do it. I don't know, gang. What if I did this? What if I actually just spent some money here and I separated this out? I don't know. Alright, I'm just gonna have him do it. I'm gonna have him do it. If it's wrong, we can fix it later. It's not a big deal. We're making plenty of money. It's not a big deal. Alright, obviously there's part of this ground that was not grass, right? The same issue we had early on in the series where it's set up as, even though there's grass growing on top of it, it's set up as like forest ground or something like that, so it actually does not let you mow that. Well, lets you mow the top fake grass, but it doesn't actually provide any sort of grass whatsoever. But you can already kind of see where the next field's going to be, right? It's going to be a very similar, probably size and shape to the one right back there. We got to get rid of some trees. Obviously, that tree in the middle's in the way, and some trees on the outside edges here are in the way for sure as well. But this area has significantly less trees than that one does over there, or did over there, I guess I should say, right? So it shouldn't take as long for us to be able to accomplish that, to turn this into a field. Hopefully that begins today. I'm not sure if it will or not. It really depends on time. But if not, we know for sure what we're doing in the next episode, right? We're working on this and probably harvesting a field too. Now, I don't know exactly how much the pen that we put down for the sheep holds as far as grass goes. I would assume it's a lot, but I don't know for sure. I think that pen itself allows 250, I think, sheep. I think. It's somewhere around there. If it's not 250, it's in that vicinity, that ballpark. So, quite a lot of sheep, really. So, you would think it would hold a lot of grass in there. We can probably figure that out here. Well, it doesn't really say. It just says... No, it doesn't really tell you there. We'd have to go actually look at it when we get there, which we can do once we drop off some of this grass here in just a second. Alright, we are full. We're going to head that way. I'm not going to get rid of any of these trees right here. I like this little tiny area here of a tree shade, tree tunnel, whatever you want to call it. I like that, so we're not going to do anything with that one. We're going to leave that as is. All that went in there. Okay, so it's not actually as much as I thought, because I would say we're damn near half 50% full. Probably more like 40%. So, it doesn't hold as much as I actually thought it was going to hold. That's fine. That's fine. The workers seemed like they were doing an okay job, by the way. I kind of went over there off camera and took a look. They're doing fine. And they didn't seem that they were having any issues going into another field or anything like that for us, so. Go down here, pick up this tiny bit. It's not really going to matter much, but I'm going to pick it up anyway because it's going to drive me crazy. And then we'll start doing more up and down here traditionals. We'll do a bit of a jump cut here. We had a time lapse already, so we'll do a jump cut here. I'll get the rest of this grass picked up. Alright, this is the last little bit here, gang. It's pretty much full anyway, so it's good that I didn't mow any more than this. I was thinking about actually mowing more, kind of going up towards that way, because as you can see, there's a lot of space there, too, that we can mow. Looks like the worker finished doing the drilling, so that's good. We can go take a look and see exactly how they did. Here in just a second. Let's dump the rest of this here in the sheep pen and we'll go take a look. Considering how many sheep we have, which is not many still, this is perfectly fine, right? We pretty much have 2 of each type of sheep is all we got. Let's see how they did here. Okay, not bad. There's a couple missed spots here, right here, obviously, which we will touch up. Now, this does mean that more than likely some of this, well, it was grass before, so maybe not. I was going to say some of this we might have to, you know, touch up with some more fertilizer in the next episode, but, well, depends on if we decide to do a second day in October, which I don't think we're going to. But if for whatever reason we decided we were going to, a little bit of touch-up work that needs to be done. There's still enough room, I think, that we can get trees through here without really causing too much mayhem here, if we wanted to put some in there, but I mean, that one, it's got enough in there that we probably could harvest this and before it would even, you know, be ready. for more trees, right? Before the sawmill would technically be ready to accept more trees, so not really that big of a deal. I want to look at this really quick. Where is the other sawmill at? Here it is. Okay, it still has 30,000 liters, so it's good. Let's go put this away. Before we do, though, we're going to give it a little bit of a wash. It's getting a little dirty, so we can clean this off real quick. Alright, that's good enough for me. Back this up. Put this away. I don't know what happened to all this stuff over here. I didn't leave them like that, but somehow they got moved. I don't remember. Unless I was in here doing something accidentally, or somebody got on the game or something. I don't know why they're in that situation they're in. I don't normally leave things like that. If I leave things laying out, they're at least normally pushed off to the side and not... Well, what I was going to say doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but they're not normally, you know, they're at least straight, right? They're not just scattered all over the place like those are, but I don't know. Maybe I did do it that way. I don't know. Maybe I did. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to find our other greenhouse we just put down. We're going to go ahead and turn both of these on and put them to selling, and we got to go get the water tank, which it may still have water in it, I don't know, but we need to top these up anyway. I mean, they don't need that much water, but we can go ahead and top those off while we're at it. We're up to $31,000 again, so we are close where we could put down potentially another greenhouse, but for now, I'm not too concerned. I do not need this tractor for it. That's a mistake on me. Whoops. We need this. Yeah, it's got plenty of water in it. We should be able to fill up all of these, honestly. Yep, that one's full now, and then the last one here should be full as well. Perfect. Let's go fill this thing up with some more water. Just keep it full at all times, so that way we can just pop over here quickly and unload it. Now, what I'd like to potentially do, I think, I don't think we're going to be able to plow a new field today or anything like that. I don't think we're going to, unfortunately, have the time. I think what we're going to do, though, is we're going to put down that production I said we may or may not put down in this episode. I think we're going to go ahead and do so. Now, this is a production I'm very excited about. Very, very excited about. I'm glad that it's finally on ModHub. It just recently came out, and what I mean by it just recently came out, why is my camera moving? Why is everything moving here? What is going on right now? It just recently came out. I think it came out the day that I'm recording this. Might have been the day before, but either way, it was very, very close to this period of time, and I'm very excited about it. We utilized it pretty heavily in FS22, and we're going to utilize it pretty heavily here as well. Now, immediately up front here, it's not really going to get the use that it requires, but eventually it's going to, and it all will come to fruition, and it'll all make sense here in just a second when you see what I'm going to put down. So I'm going to go off camera really quick. I'm going to throw it down. I'll be right back with you. Alright, I've got it placed down. It's not exactly where I was talking about before. That production's going to come later. This is a separate production. And as you can clearly tell, it has to do with wool. And I'm sure if you've been watching my channel for long enough, you already know what it is. You can see it straight ahead. Grandma's Knitwear is here. I'm amped up about it, man. I love this production. This production is fantastic. So we're going to be taking all of our wool from all of our sheep, and we're going to make it some clothes. Excuse me for a second there, gang. I think I need to put it here, right? I think this is where they... I think they spawn the pallets on the backside. Is that right? The correct statement? Yes. Okay. So, let's go in here. Let's find that production. Nope, it's up at the very top. And we want to turn on the wool clothes. Activate. Perfect. Yeah. Now, it's a relatively fast-moving production. It's not as fast as some other ones, but it's faster than your typical vanilla out-the-box one. So this should be good, man. This should help us out a lot, make us a lot more money. Not that we really are pressing for money or anything like that, but it gives us something to do with the wool for the sheep, right? For right now, all we were really doing was just kind of storing and collecting the wool. We weren't really doing anything specific with it. Now we will be. Now we will be. And as we continue to get more and more sheep here, up to 250 at some point, hopefully, we're going to be pumping through all of the wool here. Now, the reason I put it where I did is very strategic. First off, it's right next to the sheep area where we actually, you know, place the food and everything where the sheep are. But secondly, the pallets of sheep wool, the wool, spawn in that little shed right there. I'm pretty sure, at least. That's where they spawn at. So I can easily pick those up here with the pallet fork and then flip them around and drop them right off here at Granny's Knitwear. Now, this is the tree I was talking about before, right? Earlier on in the episode, I said there's a tree that might potentially be in the way when we're trying to get the wool out of there. I do think it's going to be in the way. We are likely to get rid of this tree. And there's a couple other trees I want to get rid of as well. We're going to do something else that I've been talking about doing for a long time, but until now, until we really had, you know, the whole sheep solidified and happy with it, we weren't doing it, right? So we're going to do that now today as well. So a couple more things to do today before we end the episode. Exciting stuff, man, exciting. All right, that might be able to get both of them. Yes, perfect. Couple really big sheep in there, so I would assume they're in the process right now of reproducing, right? Which is good. We need them to reproduce. We need more sheep so we can make more wool, which means more clothes from Grandma's Knitwear. All right, that is all the pallets of wool that we currently have all done. So I'm going to go ahead and park this over here. And these things are kind of in the way, but I'm going to work on this area later on. What I want to do in the interim here is I want to go ahead and jump into here. I want to go get just some gravel. I'm not the asphalt here that kind of looks like dark gravel to me. Not that one. Actual gravel. I just don't know which one I want. Do I want one with the grass in there, or do I want just regular gravel? I think I want the one with the grass in there because of where we're going to be putting it at. Let's go with this one. A little bit more severe on what I would say is more grassy dirt than it is gravel, which would make sense over here by the forest. But we're going to put a track in that runs right next to the sheep pen here, right? We've got to have to get rid of, honestly, we're going to get rid of this tree right here and this tree right here. And then we're going to run it all the way here and connect to here. But we're also going to have a little bit of a detached part that can go here, right? So if we want to go to the yard, we can do that. If we're wanting to go around to here, we can do that as well. So we're going to do that, and then eventually this is going to connect, well, temporarily for now, probably connect right here, but eventually it might change where its connection is. But let's go ahead and get started here. I'm just going to make it relatively large here. I'm going to do the best I can to try to keep it as straight as possible here. I want this to look really good. Now, we can always touch it up later, right? It's not like it's not like we can't come back and put grass down. We can certainly do that, but yeah. I really like the way that this is going to come together. I like having this little track right next to the area where the sheep are. This is just kind of an ease of access, easier for me to get from the yard over to here, right? That way I don't have to drive all the way down here and around. I can just go right here, cut through here, especially if I'm wanting to go like in this area, right? If I have to go over here, I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But just having more ways to get in and out, and this is more like a side track than like a main one. So like if anybody was coming to visit, obviously they wouldn't take this track, right? They would go down the main road. So more of like a working track, I guess is what we could call it, right? Restricted area there for some reason. Just trying to concentrate here, gang. I apologize. I'm just trying to get this all set. I really don't want to screw this up if at all possible. I'd like to only have to do it, you know, one time. Maybe a tiny bit of touch-up work, not a bunch of touch-up work, if that makes any sense. Perfect. And I'm just going to go ahead and just make the back of this gravel anyway. It needs to be gravel. I'll just do it all. Why not? We're just going to make it all gravel. I said I was going to wait and do this later, but let's just do it. We're here. There's no reason not to. Just got to be careful with that tree. That tree can cause some mayhem, right? It can make us start painting areas that we don't really want to paint. Alright, I'm good. I'm happy with that. Like I said, that tree's going away anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So let's build the little branch off here. We'll take care of these trees off camera. I think right here. Nothing major, right? Just a little bit of a cutoff. There we go. I'm happy with that. I like that. Watch out, tree. Don't cause me issues, tree, please. Yeah, that's good. All right, that'll work. Man, look at this. We are starting to become a massive farm here, aren't we? All right. Well, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button for me. It's free, helps me out an absolute ton if you do that. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much to my 13 members. Cannot thank you guys enough. And I'll see you in the next episode.